Hello there, my name's Annette with Sunbeam Fabric Art. Welcome to my channel. I draw out a lot of my ideas on paper and sticky notes, but don't worry, I'm not going to make you read these notes or try and interpret my chicken scratch. I really like to use strips to make quarter log cabin blocks. A quarter log cabin block is almost as versatile as a half square triangle. It looks very similar to a half square triangle if you look at it from a distance, and those can be put together in so many different ways to make so many different patterns. I got this Petite Jelly Roll set some time ago. I just love the prints in it. I think they're so pretty, and I've got enough dark and enough light that I can make the plan I have in mind. I'm going to be making a total of 36 blocks in a 6x6 block layout. For my dark, I need 13.5 inches for each block, so I can get 3 blocks out of one dark strip. That means I'm going to need a total of 12 dark strips. For my light strips, I can only get 2 blocks from each strip, assuming they are 44 inches that I can cut. Therefore, I need 18 light strips. With my fabric choices made, I am going to stack my strips up on my cutting mat and make my cuts. I'm lining my strips up here with the fold on my right hand side, and I'm going to try and get those as even as I can. I also decided to go ahead and mix the colors up of these 12 darker strips, just so that after I cut them, I could just stack them up and not have to sort them later. I double checked the length on the left of your screen just to make sure that everything overlapped that 0-inch line. I'm going to go ahead and cut that 0-inch line off and give myself a nice straight edge on that left side. Since I have 12 strips stacked up in double, each cut is going to give me 24 of the pieces. My first cut was 2.5 inches. So now I've got 24 2.5-inch squares. I switched to my bigger ruler to make it easier for me to cut the next set. Those strips are going to be 4.5 inches by 2.5 inches. My next set, I went ahead and cut 6.5 inches. And again, I only have 24 of those. Half of the remaining strip there was cut into 2.5 first, and then 4.5, and then the last 2 remaining pieces were cut into 6.5 inch, and that gave me all 36 pieces that I need, with just a little bit left over for my scrap bin. Next, I'm going to get my 18 light strips and lay them out the same way. The difference with my light strips is that it's a very tight fit. I need exactly 22 inches per block. So what I'm doing here on the right hand side, this time I'm cutting just barely cutting off the fold, and they are all lined up with the fold exactly on that line over there. So by cutting that straight edge first, now I can do the rest of my cuts. I gently turn the mat around and I cut at 2.5 inches. Next, I used 2 rulers combined to make my 8.5 inch cut. Then I made my 4.5-inch cut, and last I made my 6.5-inch cut and threw away those selvage edges. Now I've got all the pieces ready to assemble my 36 blocks. I'm going to start out by stitching a light 2.5-inch square to a dark 2.5-inch square. The nice thing about these batiks is there is no right or wrong side, so you don't have to take that into consideration when you're stitching. Once I had all the 2.5-inch squares joined, I separated my chain. I checked my diagram after almost every round to make sure I was putting these on in the right order and correctly. So here, looking at my diagram, I know it's time to add a 4.5-inch piece in the light colorway. If you're working on accuracy as a quilter, you might want to press and trim after every single addition. I did not want to do that. I did not choose to. That's certainly an option. So after the first round, your piece should measure 2.5 by 4.5. After you add the third piece, you should have a 4.5-inch square, and all the way up, in this case, to 8.5 inches square. Always squaring to that original 2.5-inch square. For me, I kept following my diagram, adding first a light, then a dark, then a light, then a dark, and my last addition was the 8.5-inch light strip. Once I had everything put together, I did go through and press all my blocks flat before trimming. I really love seeing these blocks come together. When I bought this jelly roll pack, I just fell in love with the fabric, so it's really fun to see them all into a block now. Before I start trimming these blocks, I did want to get them mixed up a little bit to make sure that I wasn't going to have two exact dark fabrics coming together. The way I'm putting these together is I'm turning them so that the dark fabrics make a peak. When I get all the pairs put together, eventually, what I'll be doing is flipping one of the pairs upside down so that all the dark fabrics are to the center of a 4-block patch. Since I knew going in that my pre-cuts may or may not be exactly 2.5 inches wide, I did not square up after every addition. What I'm doing now is trimming my blocks to 8.25 inches instead of what should be an 8.5-inch block. With everything squared up, I'm ready to chain piece my blocks together. So I've got half of the blocks on the left, half of the blocks on the right, and I'm making sure the dark fabrics form a peak in the middle. Once I had my 18 pairs put together, I separated that chain and I started putting a pair together with another pair. I made sure that my 2 peaks were going the same direction. I tried the little trick I like to do where I take the tail end of the row and add my next piece to it. That didn't work out so well with this 8 1/4 inch block. I went through the entire stack and put 3 pairs together to make 1 row. When it's time to put 2 rows together, I'm going to flip 1 row around the opposite way so that all the dark comes together in the middle of the row. I do recommend, if you're a newer quilter, to use clips or pins to hold these seams together between the blocks. For this quilt, since I trimmed these to 8 1/4 inches, that's really the only seam that I'm going to worry about matching. I continued adding the rows together till all 6 were joined. Once everything was joined, I did take this quilt top to my ironing board. I didn't film that, but I did press all the seams between the rows nice and flat. Here is a look at our finished quilt top. This jelly roll set was so pretty. I just love it. I'm also showing you a couple of pictures of this finished quilt in black and white. That will give you a way to see why the contrast of dark and light matters so much. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you back again real soon.